you probably wouldn't be able to visit this if this wasn't under control of the State of Israel. We probably wouldn't have freedom of religion for Christians here if it was in the hands of a caliphate or jihadists or Palestinian Authority or Hamas or any of those things. So it's incredibly important that these historical religious sites are kept open and people have their freedom of religion.
If you don't know what's going on here, this is Tommy Robinson, and he's at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, which is the location of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And what he's saying in the video is that it's a good thing that Israel is in control of Jerusalem and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Otherwise, if it was in the control of the Muslims, we wouldn't have freedom of religion, and Christians wouldn't be able to go to these sites. And here's the craziest part of it all. The guy is so ignorant that he's saying that if it was in control of Muslims, we wouldn't be able to go there. That church has been in control of Muslims for over 1,000 years. The custodians of the church, the people that hold the keys to the door of the church, is a family. It's a Muslim family, and they've had the keys to the church for over 1,000 years. This is because the Christian denominations have always argued over who has control over the church. And right now there's 5 denominations that worship and keep up the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And so to keep the peace and unity between the Christians and make sure that not one denomination takes full control of the church, the custodianship of the church, the keys, have been in the hands of a Muslim family. And every single day, this Muslim family opens up the church for all the denominations, and every single night they lock it up and keep it safe. And every year during Easter, the Muslim family will come by and do a little ceremony where they open up the church for every one of those 5 denominations. I actually saw this ceremony when I was there back in April. Now, sure, the Muslim and Christian relationship in Jerusalem has not always been peaceful. When the first Muslim crusaders or Muslim conquerors came to Jerusalem, the city was handed over by the Christians to the Muslims peacefully. But however, in 109 AD, this is when the first Egyptian ruler came in and ordered a total destruction of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. These Muslim rulers actually came in and did destroy a good portion of the church. And this was actually one of the main catalysts to why the Christian Crusades started to go back and take back the church and take back Christendom in the Holy Land. However, the majority of the Muslim rulers who have been in Jerusalem and have ruled over it, like Saladin, they've been overwhelmingly peaceful and respectful of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And like I said, the keys have literally been in the family's hands, a Muslim family's hands, for over 1,000 years. And to this day, it's the Muslims and the Christians who are fighting you-know-who, the Israelis, who are the ones who are really oppressing the Christians in the Holy Land at magnitudes greater than we've ever seen before in human history.
We wouldn't be able to visit this if this wasn't under control of the State of Israel. We probably wouldn't have freedom of religion for Christians here if it was in the hands of a caliphate or jihadists or Palestinian Authority or Hamas or any of those things. So it's incredibly important that these historical religious sites are kept open and people have their freedom of religion.
Okay, this is a little bit awkward. This place where Tommy Robinson is stood right here, that he's claiming is Christianity's holiest site, this is being looked after by Muslim families for over 900 years. So the exact same, Muslims that Tommy Robinson loves to warn you about are literally the ones holding the keys to the church where Jesus was buried in Jerusalem. Every single morning, a Muslim man opens up this church, and every single night, another Muslim locks the doors again, and they have done this since the year 1187, when Sultan Saladin handed the keys to the Joda and the Nusayba families to stop Christian sects from fighting each other. And guess what? The peace arrangement still works now, better than governments today. So when Tommy Robinson is saying that he's walking free thanks to Israel's control, he's conveniently forgetting that he's only walking through those doors because a Muslim family opens them every single day. It's funny, isn't it? The man warning about Islamic rules is literally filming inside a church that survives because of Islamic stewardship. So ultimately, to me, this proves right here that Tommy Robinson didn't just make a mistake. He lied to his entire platform. He stood in a building that is protected by Muslims for over 9 centuries, then twisted it into an anti-Muslim propaganda. That's not awakening people, that is manipulating them, and that's how division is sold. One clip, one lie, one audience at a time. Because the moment we start believing headlines over history, that's when the truth becomes the enemy, and that's exactly what they want. So the next time you see a video like this, remember, real truth doesn't need enemies, it just needs open eyes wide enough to see who's really holding the keys. You see, when you realise that all these big faces that really do have a narrative to push, they're all under the same table. It's the Hegelian dialectic. Once again, problem, reaction, solution. They need these people to be there in this world, to be pushing the divide, the left.